What's going on, everybody? Matt Malatesta here in the VYPE Coach's Corner with none other than Jerry Prieto. He is back in Southeast Texas, Southeast Houston. Coach, welcome. He's the new head coach at Dayton. He was at Crosby, of course. We knew him at Crosby very well. Coach, what was it about Dayton that, like, hey, you got to get back to this part of the state?
Yeah, I always saw Dayton as a place with a lot of potential, and obviously they've had a lot of success in the past, and so a place can be a good place and has the potential to be a good place when they've had the kind of success they've had, and we like the area, and it's a lot closer to family. We kind of got real far from family, kind of like a fish out of water up in the DFW, and when we saw this opportunity, we saw it as a place where we could come in and put our stamp on this program and also get a lot closer to family and, see our nieces and nephews compete as they continue to grow and participate in athletics and everything like that. And so we were excited about the chance, and it all worked out. So here we are.
Well, what's kind of cool is, I would consider you like a program builder, because Crosby was Crosby, and then you got there, and then Crosby was a brand. Just talk about, what's the upside for a Dayton, and what are some of the things you got to get up and running over there?
Yeah, the upside is, I started on the 4th, so I got a week in so far, and man, the kids were great. The kids were hustling around, they were working hard, they were supporting each other, and so that was something that sometimes when you go into a place, you've got to cultivate some of that culture from zero almost, and there's a lot of that's already in place there. I think there's some talented kids. There's some good coaches there. And so I think it's a place with a lot of potential, obviously, and a place that, I'm looking forward to fully getting my family down and fully, putting a staff together and really getting to build this thing out like we think it can be.
And I agree, because, the Grand Parkway's coming, all that growth is coming right there between you, Crosby, Barbers Hill, Baytown. That's got to be cool to be on the ground floor of that. But y'all had some success lately as Dayton, reaching the postseason. The bar's been set, and the buy-in, that's the thing, getting the buy-in from the kids. How will you go about doing that?
I think the first thing is just getting there and letting them see me and a genuine, honest person, and getting to know them. Getting to know them, getting to interact with them, and not just getting to know them as football players, but, getting to know them as people and what their interests are outside of football. What's their home life like? What other sports do they participate in? What other activities do they participate in the school? And so, I think that's big when you start to build buy-in with kids, is they've really got to know that you care about them, and not, you just don't care about them as a what can you get out of them on the field. You care about them as a person, the total person. And that's kind of what I bring to the table, what my family brings to the table. And, just looking forward to continuing to get to know these kids.
Talk about mentors, people who have mentored you or who you learned from. Who would you give me your top 2 or 3 mentors that have helped your career along the way?
Yeah, one, I worked with him and for him for a long time. He's the head coach at Cy Woods now, and that's Cody Semper. We've been through a lot together, and kind of put this offense together with him over the years when I worked with them at Cy Springs, and then he hired me at Ray, and we went over to Veterans Memorial together as well. And so he's somebody I always look toward and count on and call on whenever I need to. Dave Raffield is another one. I coached for him at A&M Consolidated, and even though we didn't coach together very long, because I went with Cody and he offered me a coordinator position, Dave is somebody I have a whole lot of respect for, and always call and bounce ideas off of him, and he'll give me a call every now and then out of the blue, and man, he's just an awesome guy. And then one that is one of my former high school coaches, and is Dr. Joe Young, and he's currently the superintendent in Brownwood ISD. And man, throughout the years, like I said, he was a high school coach of mine. And anytime I've ever needed to call him or needed anything or had something I wanted to bounce off of him, he always picks up the phone. He always calls me back if he's not around his phone, and just talks to me about whatever I need to talk to him about for however long, and he's a super busy man, obviously being the superintendent of a school district, but those are probably the three guys that I call on the most.
You talk about family. You are a family guy for sure, and your mentorship, but you're mentoring kids too. I mean, you talk about, hey, that was my high school coach. What do you hope? What are you trying to teach these guys that they're going to take on for the next 30 years of their life, and you're going to go to their weddings and stuff like that? What are some of those life lessons?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think one of the biggest things, a couple of the biggest things I think we can teach these kids is how to persevere through tough times. Uh, how to initiate work, how to work hard, how to be a team player. And I think really when you look at extracurriculars, I think it's so extremely important, especially in our educational system today. This is one of the last true places that we have where we can really instill those things in these kids to help them be successful after high school years. And I think that's the most important part of our program. That's what we should all be striving towards. We all want to win district championships, state championships, and everything like that. But if you're not preparing your kids for life after high school, I think you're failing your kids. And those are some of the things that we're going to try to teach them, and we're going to try to break them down in the off season and try to teach them how to pick each other back up, how to rally themselves as a family, look out for each other, understand they might not like everybody in that locker room, but they dang sure better love everybody in that locker room and have everybody's back. And those are some things that we've been able to accomplish before in our program, and some things that we look forward to instilling in this one.
Again, family is the theme. You've got two sons also coming up, which, hey, we hired a coach and we got two kids coming with them that are pretty good. Just talk about, and we've done a lot with coaches and their sons playing for them. How much are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it my whole career. I've looked forward to coaching my kids, and I've done a little bit with them in Little League, but tried to hold off as much as possible because I knew I was going to get my hands on them at one point. And I don't know how excited they are, because they got to bear the brunt of a lot of things, especially my oldest right now with the high school program. But man, it's just special. My kids have grown up in a field house. They've been around me my whole career. They've grown up in a field house. They've always known the kids and been a part of the teams wherever we've been at. And I think it's pretty special. There's a lot of worse places a kid can grow up than in a field house or around a bunch of kids all fighting for the same goal.
No, man, that's going to be super fun for y'all as a family. And what do y'all do for fun? What is the Prieto when I'm rolling over to Dayton? What are we doing for fun?
Man, if most of our time is taken up by athletics and everything like that, but a couple of things we like to do for fun. We love to fish. We love to duck hunt. And just kind of anything outdoors. If we're not involved in athletics, we really would rather be outdoors doing something, whether it's hiking somewhere, like I said, fishing and hunting. Those are the main things, to do on our time when it's not around athletics or football. But most of our time is usually taken up with athletics.
Well, all right. Well, hey, Dayton, here he comes. Coach Jerry Prieto has had an amazing track record in high school football coaching. Now he's going to bring that magic to Dayton. Coach, thanks for joining us. Hey, we'll see you all at the games.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.